It's also sparked a conversation about the culture of sports. And for more, I'm joined now by Shireen Ahmed.
Shireen Ahmed.
Shireen Ahmed.
Shireen Ahmed.
One thing that's been really cool, alhamdulillah, about my career is that I've been able to do really different things.
It's the work and the foundation that women have put in over the years. Storytelling in sports is really about people.
On the field, the ball didn't discriminate.
Shireen Ahmed is one of the most respected and recognizable voices in Canadian sports media. A journalist.
Shireen was well ahead of the curve on this one. The first one to break that the WNBA is officially coming to Toronto.
Commentator.
What it means to support women's professional soccer in Canada. We are so lucky to have that and to witness it.
An advocate whose work has reshaped conversations nationwide.
Can you describe what it felt like a young girl who loved sport growing up?
Yeah, I think that sports was a way for me to stay connected with people when I felt often excluded.
Picture this, Halifax, 1982. I'm a boisterous 5-year-old in a polyester red and yellow striped kit with 2 long black thick braids. And I'm the only little brown girl. Despite my tenacity and eager skills during play, I was never picked to be on a team during gym class.
Sports I was really good at. I liked playing with other people, and then there was this sort of automatic sense of inclusion. I was really precocious, really tenacious, and very confident, and those are the things at the time that they didn't want young girls to be. But in sports, particularly in soccer, which is what I played, the qualities that I had came very much in handy.
I ran onto the field and took the ball with 10 other little kids, not really knowing how to maneuver, but feeling like I belonged there. And outside of my family, there weren't a lot of places that I felt as if I belonged.
But as soon as I walked off the pitch, they're like, okay, be quiet now.
And I think this is something a lot of people can relate to, being an outsider. But my heart and my head and my parents kept telling me to stick with it, and there was a place for me, even if I had to carve it out myself.
Just finished up with the NSL.
Yes.
What does it mean to you to have such an influence and kind of see and be involved to a certain extent with a sport that, as we started at the start of this journey, you were excluded from even just your young years in Halifax, to wearing that job in university, not being allowed to play or get those opportunities, to now being a part of a coverage that's taking future steps into bigger things in sports?
I actually never really thought of it like that, but it was a very full circle moment to be able to be part of the first season of the league and be part of the league and cover it and report on it and tell stories throughout and make connections with players, coaches, people on staff, communities, supporters groups has been huge for me. It's been immense. To be able to go to virtually any of the markets and then be recognized in a stadium for the coverage is I don't take that lightly, because when I was young, I didn't actually have anyone to look to, particularly who looks like me.
In an interview with The World in 2014, you said that you described when you decided to cover your hair in 1997, and your coach replied, "Good luck with that." What went through your mind when that was said, and did you ever second guess, continuing to play?
Oh yeah, I stopped playing, and it was awful. Going back to when I was 20 when that happened, I was very defensive, and I was like, I'm going to stop playing. I have principles. I'm going to stand on principle. But I shouldn't have had to stand on principle. It shouldn't have been a big deal.
Sports mean a lot to me. I still play, and although I'm the only brown woman on my team, I can't live without it.
When I got back to soccer, it was a reunion unlike one I've ever had before.
And now, sports are not just something I play. I've fallen in love with the way they can be woven into storytelling.
The experiences I've had before taught me to carve out a path for myself and be unapologetic, but also try different things. So there's so many ways in which those experiences, not all of them good, really helped me become who I am today. My lived experience has informed most of what the work I do, but that's the point. That now that I'm teaching journalism and sport media, the idea is not to be I'm not affected by my past, but I'll address whatever biases I might have and tell a factual and honest story and be accurate.
I'm often called upon to provide opinions on race and culture in sport through sport stories. You see, sports stories are not just game reports and statistical analysis. They are stories about people, their struggles, their glory, and how they use sport to express themselves.
And I started telling stories, and I started doing this because I didn't actually like the way they were being told. Stories about Muslim women in sport, racialized women, the language used, the lenses and the perspectives were so condescending and like either rife with misogynoir or just stereotypes and tropes that I was like, I can't believe this got published.
And the stories within sport can hold impactful messages of resilience, glory, and justice.
Her work shifts narratives in places that once overlooked voices like hers. From global football stories to breaking news to investigative pieces, she has built a career on courage, clarity, and relentless honesty.
I love this wall. I love this wall so much. I walk in this building and I'm like, oh, I'm so happy to work here. It is like the best building.
Shireen really brings energy to the office, and she really brings her A game every time. She has a passion for what she does, and I think that it really invigorates a lot of people around the office, and it just livens things up.
Her opinion is very valued here at CBC and in our department.
She's just such a believer in community, and also going to places, especially in sports media, that you don't always see. So I think one of our first things we did was the Black Girl Hockey Club, and she was a big proponent of us doing stories on that, just giving voices to people who wouldn't necessarily be platformed.
And before you even put visuals on it, you go, this is going to be powerful. People are going to care about this. And it makes you feel like the work you do matters.
I think working for the public broadcaster, you really want to make sure that you're telling the stories that don't get told and the stories that need to be told. And Shireen does a great job of covering all corners. Whatever content you're developing, you're always thinking about the why behind it from the get-go. So you're thinking about why people want to see it, why it matters, why the story should be told, why it should be showcased, and why your energy should go into it. And I think Shireen's really good at knowing where her energy should go and what stories need energy given to them, because they might not be as obvious and the masses might not give the energy. So to have somebody who's even stronger than the masses, like Shireen, to give her energy pinpointed, it's going to do a lot better of a job to kind of amplify the things that are more hidden.
She cares about her work, and it's very easy to get behind someone who cares about their work and who cares about the thing that they're doing and isn't just doing something to check a box or to get through their day. Like, you can feel the care that she has behind all the words that she says, all the words that she writes, all the videos that I do with her. There's passion behind it. She knows that she has the ability to affect change, and like, she actually wants to use her words for good. And that's a good thing to get behind.
A couple of students from TMU. Hello, students.
Who in the room attended TMU?
Ryerson. Along the journey, she found something unexpected in teaching, a space to guide the next generation while continuing to learn from them. It's where her experience met their possibility.
And I'm just wondering how you approach balancing the different hats, being an educator, journalist, podcast host, partner, parents, without losing yourself in the process.
I think I'm still finding myself in a lot of ways and the new opportunities and new roles I get. Like, a huge part of my personality came out when I started teaching at TMU. There's no money in the world is worth it. I know I sound incredibly idealistic, but I'm also a believer that if it's meant to be, it'll be for you. And it'll happen. I just wouldn't risk the only thing that I have is my reputation.
Shireen is a good example of someone who always brings forth honest perspective. She's not afraid to ask meaningful questions, hard questions, questions that might get people uncomfortable, but she can still do it in a really kind way. We do the teaching because we know it's sort of the right thing to do, and we know that it's also hard to find people who really care.
The biggest lesson that I learned from Shireen's classes were to be authentic.
She really lets her students know, like, this is competitive. You can't just be someone else, you have to stick out.
And to just have a voice. Like, she taught me to be outspoken. She taught me not to stay quiet, to really tackle those difficult conversations. And that's really propelled me in my career.
A lot of who I am is like an educator, like someone who shares public scholarship and who learns. I learn so much from my students. And engaging with young people who are not cynical yet, and they have great ideas and they're open to discussions from really, really honest and candid levels. I love that. That's my girl, that's my girl.
I find that every time I'm in class with Shireen, I find that I learn something new from her. Whether it's, you know, like, don't be afraid to speak up, don't be afraid to be yourself in the media industry, like, don't be afraid to stand up for what you believe in.
I really admire that she is unapologetically herself.
I've come to learn that she's a very resilient person.
I think she just brings something that's super unique, that is genuine, that sometimes we don't have enough of.
For some, seeing a Muslim woman, especially one who speaks with clarity and conviction, was enough to spark resentment. This wasn't professional criticism. It was targeted hate, aiming at undermining everything she stands for.
I started my career with getting backlash, so I'm kind of used to it. But to be honest with you, I've been issued death threats before. And the first time it was terrifying. And I had to go to the police, and they tried to clock in and weren't able to trace the email. And it was really, really scary. It was somebody who had said they knew where I was going to be, and they wanted to hang me from a tree with my hijab. Like, it was really graphic and really, really awful. And I was terrified, which kind of, and I'm not trying to dismiss the Reddit thing, it was terribly upsetting to have someone try to attack my reputation. Like, I work really well with a bunch of people, and I work really hard at that. Like, I love people and I love my colleagues. So to be accused, and my students and whomever, so to be accused of something like that, I don't take lightly, particularly because it's out of context. And it was a very basic and sophomoric kind of situation.
The public pressure can be heavy, but her family is a place where the weight lifts.
But I recently heard that there was a little, kerfuffle going on Reddit, if you will. Did you get to see anything on Reddit recently or no?
It was pointed out to me, some colleagues, that apparently, allegedly, I don't like white people. So the post was compiling tweets, which is insane. I have white friends, I'm not racist.
Wow.
Just that they were taking tweets completely out of context, where I was probably talking about systems of white supremacy or whatnot. And I asked you, Safe, if I should reply, because my instinct is to reply. However,
As long as it's online, it's either you feed into it or you just leave it alone. So if you're gonna feed into it, go all in, and you're gonna get a lot of emotion out of it, which you don't need.
Like, I work too hard to let some bullshit angry kid or adult or whomever talk shit that way, because the problem is the industry that we're both in, reputation is everything.
I told you this when the post came out. I told you to leave it alone. It doesn't matter. It's on Reddit.
Now, I spent a couple days on the post. That's specific.
I have some incredible, some really deep connections when it comes to racialized struggles and racialized discriminations.
My husband gives me peace. We've been married for 3.5 years, and I get peace from him. I get support unconditionally. I get my backboard.
I think negative energy is always louder than positive energy, but it doesn't mean that there's more negative than positive. It just seems as though when somebody tells you, for example, it's hard for people to take a compliment sometimes. And compliments are positive. You'll take a compliment and you'll be like, oh, and you kind of like shun it as opposed to embrace it. Then you hear something negative, and all of a sudden you're ready to react to something negative quicker, because for some reason negativity really pierces you deeper and quicker than positively. You don't want to appreciate positivity as much.
April of 2024, you became the first hijab-wearing woman on official Canadian Olympic broadcast as a special analyst and commentator. That's a dream come true for so many people. So what did that moment feel for you personally, and was there anyone that you called right away when you got the news that you'd be on air?
Yeah, that's a great question. I didn't think about that until like it happened, and the post that I had went viral. I'm getting all emotional now. And the people that I work with at CBC Sports put it out into like an actual post. I didn't realize the magnitude until it got like 20,000 likes or something. Like the reality is, I didn't intend to do what I do to be a role model of any. I was like, look, if people get inspired, that's great. If people feel emboldened, if young women that look like me or look something like me or can relate to me feel like they can tell stories, like I also, you know, feel heartened when people who are communities I'm not a part of come and want to talk to me. I have like queer students or queer young people come and talk to me, or disabled ones come and say that I feel like you are relatable in some capacity, even though I'm not necessarily part of those communities. That makes me feel good. I mean, I do try, and my husband taught me this, to take certain moments and just sort of breathe them in and just like relish the moment. I really tried to do that with the WNB story.
My community came out hard. Like my students were thrilled. I had people say things like, we're so glad you broke it, which was really great because there's other people. I'm not a basketball beat writer.
Is that the biggest story you've broken?
Yeah. And like everyone has one in their career, and I feel like that's one. The process was exhausting. Like Pat was so good, my editor, to like walk through it and do it. Like I'm so proud of it because of the sleuthing that I had to do, like the old school journalism, and that's what made me proud. My career wasn't traditional. I didn't have a lot of that experience. So to do it in my career now and get a story of this magnitude, doing the work that old school calling, cold calling, following up, circling back, asking people, literally seeing people at events and going, I know, talk to you for a minute. Can I just grab you for 2 seconds? Like doing things the old school way, which was a really fantastic experience because the work I do as a columnist and as someone who there's a storyteller, writes video essays, I'm doing broadcast, I don't get to live in that world a lot. Yeah. But it was original reporting, which is phenomenal because the one thing that's been really cool, alhamdulillah, about like my career is that I've been able to do really different things. I've done broadcast, I do columns, I have done reporting, I've done investigative, like I've done different things. It's another thing I got a chance to do.
She's broken barriers, becoming the first hijab-wearing woman on an Olympic broadcast. Shireen was also responsible for delivering one of the biggest stories in women's sports in the history of Toronto, with the reveal of the Toronto Temple. Her work doesn't just inform, it pushes the industry forward.
I think that I'm happy with what I do, and I think that's a success, that I'm living out. I don't think I'm living out a dream because I didn't even think this was possible. So I didn't dream it. Every day I'm super grateful for what I get to do. I literally think I'm the luckiest person on the face of the earth to do what I do. And that, I think, is success.
Everything she fought through, every barrier, every dismissal, every breakthrough, has shaped the work she does today. Her voice carries the weight of her past and the hope of those who follow. She's living proof that hard work and refusal to stay silent can change the narrative, not just for herself, but for those who will step into these spaces next.
What was the funniest thing you've done?
Oh, I feel like I'm gonna cry. Teaching is really important to me, but I think that's a different level of journalism, is imparting knowledge on students. Like, I love that shit. I like those students.
You do a lot of sports, like you report on Temple, NSL, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But we do have a very special video we'd like to show you.
Thank you so much, Shireen. Thank you, Shireen.
Thank you, Shireen.
Thank you for everything, Shireen.
You taught me to be fearless, outspoken, and to really hone into my skills. And like a lot of what I still do and implement in my career today, I learned from you. So I just wanted to extend my thank yous to you specifically.
I wanted to say that your teaching experience has been so impactful for my career, and I will always remember the sport journalism class with you.
I really enjoy being in your class, and I look forward to more endeavors with you.
Your class that you're currently teaching me in sport journalism is one of my favorite classes I've ever taken.
You're one of the GOATs, top 3 professors for sure at TMU. And yeah.
Thank you very much, Shireen.
Oh, that's so cute.
You passed me the tissue too. Sorry.